Got some tunes in here. Much better. What's up, Boogie? Well, thanks for the likes. And thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Right now, it's just blocking in. Been blocking in for days now. Feels like it's a necessary evil. You know? Doing a lot of paint matching now. Try and fix my oopsies. Oh, thanks for the follow, dude. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate that. Make my day better. It was a rough one. I'll tell you what, pal. It was a rough one. But it is better. This is my happy place. This is where I come to relax. It does, yeah. It goes onto this big guy here. So right now I'm trying to get this bottom portion done up, and then I'll put this arm here, and then I have this section, which is his shield. It'll go to this part of him. So he'll be angrily charging people. Something like that. Oh, it's better now that I'm here, you know? My little happy, my meditative zone. Hanging out with cool people on the internet. But I appreciate it, man. Hope you had a good day. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and this was doing an Age of Sigmar army right now, and this is the first guy I did. So he has a couple things I still gotta kind of clean up on him, but if you're curious, I have a full paint guide on him. You can watch it all sped up. It's kind of fun. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it was just routine and not something too serious. Oh, thank you. It's actually, it looks deceiving. It looks like I spent a lot. I mean, I did spend quite a bit of time on it, but less than you think. I don't really paint like it's a 2D canvas, you know. I paint just details. So it's quite easy to, when a model's really nice like that one, it's easy to paint because I'm just worried about making sure I get all the raised surfaces, you know. I really am just kind of a texture painter. Are you familiar with Warhammer or this whole world? It's quite a popular game. Pretty fun. Oh, nice. I have a buddy at work that does fishing lures. He's pretty damn good at it. But that's also a very meditative, happy place, you know? Everyone's gonna have one. Oh, right on. They'll do that. So you go fishing often? Big fisher? Or are you like me, where you spend hours making lures or painting, but you never actually do the thing, even though you want to? Nice, brother. You got like a jet boat? Or you just go onto the river? Nice. Oh, I would love to go deep sea fishing. I'm not big on fishing, but I want to be. I need to probably go out with my brother-in-law. He's huge into fishing, and have him teach me the ropes. But I really do, on my bucket list, is to go up to Alaska and do some deep sea fishing. I feel like that'd be so fun. I don't even mind if I don't catch nothing, just the experience would be enough to make it super fun. Ah, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope they find you some relief so you can get back out there. Oh, nice. You know, it's kind of crazy. You know, 10 years ago it would take, you know, a week trip in the hospital and then 10 weeks to recover, you know, can't do anything. And now they're telling you, you know, 10 hours after the surgery to get up and start moving. I think it's wild. So, hopefully you can find some relief there. I work in construction. I know one day that's going to be my fate. So my heart bleeds for you, brother. Yeah, I think that's just kind of crazy, you know? I don't know if you watched the video of how they do that. I've watched the knee replacement one. And boy, they're not gentle, you know? They are not gentle. Are you dreading it or are you wishing it came sooner? Because there's two different kinds of people. There's ones like me, I would just rather it done now, get it over with. And there's some people that like to put it off because they're, I don't know, maybe scared to get it done, which is understandable. What's up, JD? Yeah, so one of my coworkers, his name is Big Scott. He's a big boy. He's like 6'4", 6'5", probably pushing a little over 3 bills. And he's in his mid-50s and his hips are done. And he's looking into getting it done. I think he's going through the process right now, which it takes a minute. You know, you have to go to this doctor, to that doctor, and then, you know, work with insurance. You know how it is. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I know he's planning to get it done soon. Yeah, I think he's 56, 57. So I'm only 31, almost 32, but I've been in construction for almost 10 years now, and I wish I had treated my knees a little bit better. And my back, so. Yeah, I keep telling him, I mean, he's suffering. Like, you can definitely see him suffer, and, like, he's starting to walk. It's starting to affect how he walks, and when that happens, you know, the muscles, they get misused, and, you know, things begin to shift around that shouldn't, and so everything just kind of compiles and gets worse. So, but I've been telling him he needs to get it done. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm in management now. I hope that I didn't do too much permanent damage, and hopefully I don't have to wreck my body anymore. Hopefully I can maintain, but you never know, you know? You never know the damage you cause when you're young, and then you get to 30, you start feeling it, you get to 40, and you start having movement problems, and then you get to 50 and start having to replace things. It's brutal. Oh, right on. I'm an electrician, so I work as a commercial superintendent, building buildings. Sounds cool. Vault technician. That sounds really, really cool. Yeah. Hey, it does. I don't get along with it either. Tell you the truth, buddy. I don't think it gets along with anyone. If you're in the wrong spot, you're done. I have a deep respect for electricity. What I don't understand is why plumbers get paid more. You know, they have a bad day, they get some poop on their hands, but I have a bad day, I'm probably dead if I mess up, you know? Never understood that. Alright, that's nice and blocked in now. But yeah, I hope I didn't do too much permanent damage. You never know. I tried to be kind to my body, but I once, on the regular, would carry up, you know, 5 or 6 2,500-foot spools of wire on a piece of rope on my back and go up 7 floors. So, we'll see if I made it out of the other side. I do feel it in my back a little bit here and there, but nothing debilitating. Just an occasional waking up and being like, no, well, we'll see how it goes. And what's interesting is, as like a laborer, you know, someone who uses their physical prowess, I guess, you're literally trading. You're trading your health for income. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. There's definitely there's a dollar amount on your physical body. So I tell kids if they're gonna do you know, if they're gonna do construction, pick something that pays well, because regardless, you're gonna mess up your body one way or another. So you might as well make good money doing it. No, it's true. It's kind of crazy. I really do think so. Construction, I think the future of construction is going to be remote robots because of the damage we do to our bodies and the insurance, right? So I think the future will be you wake up and you put a headset on or something and you control a robot. Logistics wise, you can work from anywhere, and then the biggest cost again in construction is insurance, you know. So if you can get rid of insurance and there's no bodies on the job site, then you can drop insurance prices to such a point that the companies will be way more profitable, I think. So I think that's going to be the future. It'll be too late for me, though, I think. That's also true. Well, and with that argument, there still has to be like a technician on site to still, you know, hook things up. Those panels still have to be hooked up, or at least, you know, maybe some robot that goes walking around and plugs things in. Something to that matter, you know. It'll be interesting though. It'll be a different world when robotics become the new norm. Yeah, I definitely think off-site building will be a big thing too. I'm surprised it's not as big as it should be. I think it comes down to shipping costs are still too expensive. So if shipping was, you know, half the cost it was, I think most things would be pre-manufactured and then placed on site. But yeah, I think really just comes down to shipping. Because if you think about it, like most of the cost is just building the infrastructure. The internals you could ship in, but you can't really ship, you know, foundation and whatnot, you know, cheaply. But they are making 3D printer concrete extruder things, so maybe that just shows up on site and pukes out a whole building footprint, and then they just drop something on top of it. So Who knows? It'd be pretty cool to see. Yeah, I could definitely see that. At the end of the day, robots will deteriorate the middle class even more than it already is deteriorated. So it'll be interesting to see the long-term ramifications of a lot of this change. You know. Have to check out. Do you have any of your fishing lures posted on your TikTok? Love to see them. I find that to be very artistic. I think more so than I think most people understand is like make a make an insect that's gonna fool a fish. So What's up, guys? Welcome to my little humble painting stream. Oh, thanks for the likes. Appreciate that. What's up, Zippo? Hope you're having a good day. You're making my day better, I'll tell you that much. Just blocking in colors. Y'all know how it is. Oh, thanks, Trash Panda. I appreciate that, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Oh, thanks. It's been a bit of an uphill battle, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I need to get serious and start really wrapping them up. I'm just still making decisions on color and whatnot, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Ah, dang it. Oh. Turned oopsie into a worse one. Oh, thank you. I need to do some, probably touch it up a little again. I got a lot of overspray on it, but this is the guy I'm basing all of this painting off of this one. He was my first one of this army, so that style, same vibe, but just gonna take a minute. But yeah, it's getting there. Slowly but surely. This one just has a lot more, I think it just has more detail. There's just more stuff to paint on it, so it's been taking me some time. Still blocking in the colors, so it's a long first step. This one I kind of fooled around with highlights and shadows and washes, but I'll probably go over and do it again just because I kind of want to make some of those colors a little more rich. So probably another 6 or 7 hours, I think. And I'll be getting close. So once I get all this blocked in, I'll then I'll go through and I'll do I'll glue them all together, and then I'll start doing my washes. And I'll do a highlight and then probably wash and then highlight and then wash and then highlight, and then if I'm happy, I might just stop there. But I go back and forth quite a bit. I love painting me some skulls, I tell you what. So it's it depends. So on like say this bone here, this is wraith bone, and do you see how dirty it is? I still have to really clean up a lot of these lines. But this is wraith bone white, and then Nazgrin contrast paint, but also an oil brown paint, like an oil wash. And then I come back through and I did Wraithbone white, and then I did kind of a pure white highlights. So that's kind of what I've done on all this bone here. Same thing here. You can kind of see the yellow. That's from Nazgrin yellow. And then I just keep layering it up and then bringing back the highlights. So I'll probably do another oil wash on this because I want to get back some of this contrast. And then I'll go to my Wraithbone again and pick out the highlights, and then maybe a little bit of pure white here and there. But I try and use pure white as least as possible. So, but yeah, I love using Wraithbone white and Skeleton Horde as well. So I use a lot of Skeleton Horde and Nazgrin yellow. Like on the teeth, I was gonna have the teeth be like really gross and yellow, but I thought it'd be cooler if they were bleached and then the jaw was yellow and gross. So like down here, you can see a little bit of Nazgrin yellow. The hooves are Nazgrin yellow with some Skeleton Horde at the top. But yeah, I need to try and differentiate more of these different colors. So I think I'm gonna tint this really nice rusty red. His whole mammothy coat, rusty red, which then I hope will make this stuff pop more, or I might calm it down and make it more white. I haven't decided. I don't know. That's my issue is it's just right now muddled. Like the details are muddled because I use too many of the same color. I feel like, you know. But at least that's my thought process. I should have had a better paint plan before I started because it's been a lot of back and forth. Like I've painted this shield like 3 times. I was gonna make it red, but then I realized he had ice on his staff. So then I went back to blue. So it's been a process. Hopefully I can figure it out here soon. Make it more, you know, just interesting. I want it to be interesting, you know. But at least that's the plan. Yo, what's up, Patty Prince 3D? How you been, buddy? Haven't talked to you in a... Oh, thank you. You're the best. But yeah, that's how I do the bone. I really like painting bone. It's pretty fun. I like my... Most of this bone work was based off of how I did these bones. Ignore all the like fuzzy. They still have packing material on them. But yeah, a lot of the bone is based off of my death guard. So I did Nazgrin yellow, or sorry, I did Skeleton Horde on a lot of these. So that's what this is based off of. Oh, and the teeth. So, anyways. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. I was wondering where you're at. You know, I only live stream so I can hang out with you, chat with you. But yeah, still blocking in colors. I need to get serious and start painting this guy more regularly. I've been kind of not dreading it. That's the wrong word, but I have definitely been struggling to find motivation just because I feel a little lost. It's not the mini's fault, it's definitely my fault. get it together. But I'm pretty stoked so far with how the arms are coming. So once I get these arms down, I think I'll be a lot happier with the overall process so far. What's up, Wraithbone? Just talking about you. My favorite color. I don't know what that... What does that look like to you guys? Not that. This. What is that to you? It looks like it's going to become stone because I don't know what it is.
Don't just serve. Serve. Shake it out with all the benefits of vital proteins, collagen, peptides. Now the protein shake.
Oh, no, I can't. Dang it. Oh well. TikTok's going to be mad. At least that's what I think it gets mad at. What up, Joe? Oh, thank you for following me, man. Appreciate that. So it's a good question. I did a lot of art in school. I did a little bit in college when I dropped out. So I have a bit of background in there. But painting miniatures, probably 7 or 8 years. I used to be a commissioned D&D mini painter. I used to do that quite a bit, just on the side, a little side hustle. And then I got into Warhammer, and I haven't done any commissions for Warhammer, but I've been painting models for a while now. It's fun. I like it. It's meditative for me. I don't really even play that much. It's just this is how I relax at the end of the day. Can I say hi, Jalen? Sure. Hi, Jalen. What's that about? Oh, right on. What's up, Jalen? I'm glad you like my videos. I appreciate that. Does he want to see the big guy? The big giant? Whoops. It's really fun. You know, you can really dive head first. So yeah, that's the big guy. Well, I'm happy Jalen, I'm saying his name right. Jalen? Glad he likes my content. Yeah, mini painting, once it grabs you, you know? It's very fun. I'm working on. I really just started doing this because I was just kind of bored and I was painting by myself. So I figured I might as well paint and talk to cool people. And then I posted a couple of my stuff, and some people requested that I put together like a tutorial on how I painted the giant. And so now it's kind of a snowball effect where I came out with that tutorial video, and then now people are asking me for, more ways on how I paint, and so it's been really fun. I did not expect people to kind of like the way I paint. I don't paint. I like to think I paint in a very realistic way. Like the average person can paint like me. I'm not some kind of, crazy over the top talented guy. I just have a lot of experience, and I have my little tips and tricks. So I'm just out here trying to share what I do, you know. But I will keep making content, so you let Jalen know. Oh, thank you for liking it, liking my live. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I'm planning on doing more YouTube videos here soon. I'm gonna do kind of a full how I paint. Whoop, gotta stop that before I get in trouble. Shh, there we go. Ads, ads are on yellow. yelled at by TikTok. Um, but yeah, I play a series on how I paint. You know, blocking in my colors, how I do my oil washes. You know, I try to go for like as realistic as possible. Some people like to have it as clean as possible. I actually like making my models look weathered and dirty and gross and like they've seen some stuff, you know? That's my goal. Because I want it to look like it's gonna, you know, start breathing. So what are you painting, my boy Panda? What's your vice? Right on. Have you looked at any of the Warhammer lines, or thought of doing an army, or are you more just paint what's cool? Because I definitely get that. Nice. Yeah, I want to eventually paint a bust. I have a mountain of Warhammer plastic to paint. I have like 7 armies of Warhammer, and then this is my first Age of Sigmar army. And I feel like I'm just constantly adding more paint. Oh, cool. Well, do you post your works? I'll check it out after the stream. Sweet, yeah. I might have seen your stuff. I might have. Your name is familiar. You have some glamour shots? Sweet. Well, I'll check it out right after the stream, my dude. How long have you been painting for? Oh, that's right. You said April. Sorry. I have to make you repeat yourself. What made you get into it? Just saw something cool on YouTube and you're like, I'm going to do that. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's more addicting than people think. Like it's very I think what it is it allows people to just stop and just relax and just turn off the brain and it doesn't involve a screen kind of thing. It's a very centering process, you know. For sure. Yeah, I feel like all roads eventually lead to like Warhammer models and then eventually after that cool 3D prints. But it's such a nice hobby. I used to play a lot of video games and I feel like getting more and more into painting really stopped playing them just because they're just not as relaxing. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Just a little bit overactive, and it just gives you a chance to just breathe, and be a human. I really do think human beings, all of us have a creative gene in us or a creative DNA strand that you know, if you don't work out the muscle, then life becomes a little dull and a little duller and a little duller. It's important. And I mean, you can do anything. I do mini painting, but I was talking to a gentleman in here who does fly fishing lures. You know, just so long as you can flex that creative process, I think it's really healthy. And I mean, it could be food related, baking, um, building RC cars, or whatever it is. Whatever scratched that itch. I feel it's important everyone finds whatever theirs is and attempts to make that insect or reptilian brain a little happy. I think what catches a lot of mini painters is also when you spend hours and hours on this little thing, you know, and you go to work or you have friends come over and you say, hey, look at the thing I made, you know, that's a really good feeling when people are like, wow, that's so cool, you made it, and you go, yeah, I did that. And they go, no way, and you go, yeah, way. I sure did. And every time they're like, how? You're like, well, patience. A lot of patience. Oh, I do the same thing. I run out to my lady, check out what I made. She goes, "Aw, babe, you did such a good job." I go, "Thanks," and then I go back to painting. That's what I live for. Showing my paints to her. Well, that's actually why I started doing this. Is I showed her, and she goes, "Why don't you like share this with the world?" I'm like, "Nah." She's like, "No, I think you should definitely do something." I'm like, "All right." So the only reason I'm on here is because she says I have to share. But yeah, I do the same thing. I think we all do. I think it's fun. TikTok's community is insane. I didn't think of how much of a response I would get, but there's a lot of miniature painters on here, and they're all very cool. They're very supportive, you know. They all want to see the stuff you do, or they have really good tips and tricks. They're always trying to help each other out. It was very surprising. I thought it'd be like I don't know, I'm maybe not competitive, but definitely maybe an ego would be here. But no, it's not even. It's something that I made up.
My dog Coco on the go. That's usually when I get somebody's urgent email. The features in Grammarly have been really helpful to create clear communication in a second. My name is Claudia. I'm a marketing manager and adjunct professor. Grammarly
But yeah, everyone's been
is
super cool, very
for
supportive.
my role and my marketing teacher role. With my students, I try to be really relatable. But then sometimes you have hard conversations and you need to make sure you aren't coming across a little too harsh. Download Grammarly today.
Starting at only $2.99 during Ashley's Orange Days. From living room goals to dreamy bedrooms, all at prices you won't believe. Starting at $2.99, people. It's happening for 1 week only. So
Okay. And I posted something on mini painting, and I don't want to talk too much smack because I'm sure the mods there have their reasons, but boy, all I did was post like, hey, if you want to check out how I painted this, like here's a link, right? You could call it promotion if you want, but someone also was like, what's the size of this thing? I was like, well, it's better shown in my video, is all I did. And you would have thought that I came over and just, I don't know. People on Reddit have always been really nice and really supportive too, but boy, those mods. I was not. I was like, I'll take my content elsewhere. Is how I felt. And I'm sure they have their reasons. You know, Reddit's such a massive platform, and when you have just one page, you want the content on that page to be, following the guidelines of what they want it to be, but still, I don't know. I was a bit frustrated. I don't know. I felt like a little kid in trouble at school, and I didn't like that feeling. Just want to make people happy. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that is the nice thing about Reddit is you can just save all the posts and then come back to it later. And there is some insane painting on there. Some of the stuff people do. Like okay, could I do it technique wise? Sure. Would it take me a lifetime? Absolutely. But what is so impressive about some of these painters is their use of light and color. I mean, that's something that just takes an exceptional amount of experience and talent. Like that's why I tell people I'm like, yeah, I'm a decent painter, like technique wise. Like everyone can do what I'm doing. It's nothing crazy about it. I just have my little tips and tricks. But it's the people that can make a work of art just with like two colors and just appropriate use of light and shadows. It's just mind blowing. It's nuts. Yeah, it really is. I mean, hopefully I'll get up there. I am practicing more and more with light and color and experimenting. I'm trying not to just stick to my old patterns and my old ways. But the next level is definitely learning advanced color theory and light physics. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, 100%. They've been doing it since, the early 2000s when like no one knew about Warhammer but, a couple people. It's gotten massive. There's a huge audience now. Oh, I gotta just no shh. Ads. God. Stop it. TikTok gets so mad if you play an ad. It does. Okay. I'm not selling anything. Yeah, but I mean, Warhammer has like grown by leaps and bounds. So there's definitely those people that have just been working on the craft long before we even heard about it, and they're definitely at the top of the food chain when it comes to painting skill, as they should be. If anything, I'd like to just be like a Bob Ross of painting, of mini painting. If I could do that, I would be happy. I don't want to. I'm not talking smack on Bob Ross. He was an amazing person, but his paintings, art critics would criticize as being hotel art, right? Like there's no depth there, or that's all just techniques. But his goal was just to bring painting into the mainstream. Just say hey, anyone can paint. Anyone can do what I'm doing. You know. Yeah, exactly. Like it's been a thing for quite some time, and it's not something you can't. This is the crazy thing about mini paint. You can't go and buy a well painted mini. You know, like even if you buy like a really cool figurine or something off of, you know, insert whatever, mainstream, Star Wars or Transformers or whatever figurine. There's no life to it. It's painted by a robot, or it's dipped in something, or it's stamped. It's not. It doesn't look. It doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look like someone intended for it to look the way it did. Like it looks like a mimicry. So that's what's so cool about mini painting is it can't really be reproduced. At least not with like spending a ton of money. Like hand painting will always be top tier. So I feel like a lot of people are getting into, you know, owning cool figurines of shows and video games, and they want a really cool model. Well, it has to be hand painted, or you have to accept the level that it was painted at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I've had friends who've been like, I really like the Hulk, but like, could you print me and paint me a Hulk? And oh yeah, sure. You know, my one buddy has like a massive like Hulk collection. Like all the action figures and whatnot, and his centerpiece is now just a quick painting I did a few years ago, just a big, huge Hulk. That's his favorite thing he owns because a person made it. Well, I didn't make it, but I painted it. But the reason that people put weight into mini painting is because human time and skill can't be recreated at the level yet. I mean, I'm sure just like with photography and portrait painters and, you know, printers to email against letters, eventually humans will be obsolete in all things, just with how technology is. But in this area, we still reign king, which is cool. It's fun. Feels good making something that only you can make, you know? Like sure, anyone can paint the same model, right? But it'll always be a different model. No matter what, right? Like it'll always be yours will always be wholly original and unique. And that's what's so cool. There's not many hobbies where, you know, everyone can own a thing, but you all have a different experience with that thing. I guess what I'm trying to say. Oh, definitely. Like that's so, like my favorite thing that I do on this channel is just like when someone asks a question like, "Hey, how did you do that?" I love going through my process. It's fun. It's very rewarding. Sharing information is also, again, like a human trait. I feel like teaching is also a necessary thing that you gotta do it, you know? We're not built to retain our information, we're built to pass it on. All the best feelings in life are helping people, you know? At least in my opinion it is. I try and do as much as I can. Oh, definitely. It's super fun. You know what I'd like, though, is I would like to be like Da Vinci, where he had a team of painters, right? Because he was not a solo operation, that guy. He did kind of he was more of a painting foreman, you know, with like the Sistine Chapel and whatnot. But I would love a team of like apprentice painters just blocking in colors for me. Ugh, I couldn't imagine a better feeling than just starting a painting where all the colors are blocked in. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to grab my phone charger, or else this live's gonna end a little sooner than later. Actually, my lady's gonna be here home soon from work, so we're probably gonna have some dinner. But Trash Panda, it's been such a pleasure talking with you tonight. I hope you stop by again the next time I stream. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. Yeah, well, everybody, hope you have a good night, and thanks for watching. You too.